So now that you have Ecamm installed and it's set up and everything is almost ready to go, the next thing that we want to think about is what kind of a show do you actually want to build? What do you have in mind for the kind of live stream that you want to do for your brand, for your business, for your church, or even just for your friends and family if you want to do something to help you all connect? When you think about your actual show layout, it really comes down to 3 different main types that we like to identify here at Ecamm Live. A standard on-screen live stream. Now that's basically a show similar to this. Maybe it is literally just you on screen. Maybe you want to have a little lower third that comes in to show your name or something like that. But maybe it has nothing on there. Maybe you play a little bit of a music. It could be a 5-minute or 50-minute live stream, but it literally is just you on stream. And those do fine when you're doing a video, especially when you're brand new, because there are other things to deal with, like getting comfortable with being on camera, getting used to doing a live stream for the very first time, and just knowing where everything is. If you overcomplicate things too soon, it'll make things more complicated too soon. So you don't want to add too much to what you are doing, because it can make your show really frustrating to operate because you're not sure what to click, what to do, and where to find things. And one of the main things you'll hear a lot of new people do is say, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't understand what I'm pressing. I'm not sure how to do this. That really kind of deflates the whole purpose of going live and being available to your community to bring value to them. And it's okay if you actually don't know where something is or where to find it. Your audience doesn't necessarily need to know that, because they don't know that you messed up unless you tell them that you messed up. So that's okay. And it's not to say that things won't go wrong, but it's just to say keep things simple until you're ready to move on to the next one. A simple 3-part live stream. Now this is starting to get a little bit more advanced into what you're doing. We'll call this about an intermediate, and this is going to be where you have maybe a countdown timer, and so you have a background image or maybe you have a background video that now transitions after that timer is done into you being on screen. So we add a little bit more pizzazz, if you will, to the live show. This makes it a little more interesting. It helps give you time. Sometimes you're doing a few more things. You need that few more minutes just to maybe catch your breath or say hello to the people in the comments. And we'll dive into some of the ethics and things that you want to stick away from and start sticking to with your live show a little bit later in the training. And once your show is done, you again can just be you. It doesn't have to be necessarily a very long show. And then you transition to an outro. Or maybe you have where you want to share one little thing or one website specifically with that. So it's a screen share, and it's mostly still you on camera, but that's a little bit added in there. Give something different, to a little bit extra spice to the stream. And then you transition to maybe an outro screen. This could be music, this could be a video, this could be an image, or it simply could just be a thanks for watching the live stream. I'll show you how to build one of those a little bit later in this training. And then you have your third option, which I think is really neat and really shows the power of Ecamm Live. This is going to be your advanced live stream. These live stream shows are really probably what you see the most when users get comfortable using Ecamm Live, and it really doesn't take very long to get to this. You could be doing this within your first week. And this is where you have that countdown timer. You're bringing comments actively on. You have music playing in the background. You also transition to yourself being on screen. Maybe you have animated overlays that show your social handles. So you have a tremendous amount of things that are happening that are always attention-grabbing things, keeping your audience. Now, if that sounds a little overwhelming, that's okay. You don't have to do any of these things. It just shows that these are some of the options. Now, when you get through your show, maybe you're still sharing screens, still sharing presentations and things like that. And now you have an outro screen that still could be that video countdown timer or whatever the case is. We can also go into advanced strategies when you're doing something like Final Cut Pro. And let's say you're doing a YouTube live stream and you want to have that last 10 to 20 seconds be something that says, hey, watch this up next. We'll talk about those a little bit later in this training. So I want you to take the next 60 seconds and really just think about, without feeling any of the limitations or limiting beliefs that sometimes come up, take the next 60 seconds and just write, what is it that you envision your show to do? What are some of the things you want to do within your first week of live streaming? So actively participate with this one. This is a learn and do time for you. So I want you to think about, what are some of the things that you honestly want to see yourself doing on your stream within the first week? Right, awesome. So now that you have that list of things, what are some of those things on that list that maybe you wrote down that you would say, this is some of the things I would like to do in the first week, but I would give myself maybe until the first month to really get into some of those advanced things that you would want? If you had to live stream tomorrow, which of those things on your list are things that you would really want to do? This helps narrow down some of the ideas that you have into not something that you can't do, but maybe just something to schedule for later as you get a little bit more comfortable. I'm going to show you how to build out a very simple stream that you can now grow on and expand on, because that's the beauty with Ecamm. It can be as simple as you want it to be or as complex as you want it to be. But we're going to keep this simple, as is the name of the course, Ecamm Simplified. So I want to show you some of the things that you can do to start building out a very simple live stream structure and all of the things that you need. But before we do that, we have to make sure that we get your preferences and everything optimized for live streaming. So let's dive in.